Warning, this video is going to be pretty long. It's just going to be me talking. There's not going to be much action. Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. So as I mentioned in the intro, most of this video revolves around me just talking. So there's not going to be PvP battles, or not much. I might do one or two, but what I primarily want to talk about are my thoughts on what is going to be the next PvP meta team. Now before I talk about that, because you can already see two monsters, I want to start off by emphasizing, part of me doesn't really enjoy PvP. Part of me believes that, honestly, you can get into Legendary 4 pretty much guaranteed. For those of you that are newer players, I guarantee you within a month, you are always going to be in Legendary 4. That's not hard to do. In terms of defense, honestly, it doesn't matter what you put on defense. This is what I have right now, and I'm in Legendary 3 League. So, to a certain extent, whatever you put on defense, it can always be beat. There's going to be players that can beat it. But when we look at like the top 100 and what players are using, I think it's interesting, but it's also unrealistic for most people. Because when you look at the top 100, they're most likely going to be using super mutant runes. They have everyone decked out to level 150. I mean, look at that. Have you seen runes like that? I don't have runes like that. So that's something to take into consideration. Even though we do like to look at, oh, what are the top monsters being used? It's not really realistic what we see in the top 100 compared to what your average player is going to be using. So take this video with a grain of salt, and these are my thoughts based on just kind of what I see happening and what monsters are really good right now. So what surprised me, so we'll talk about the team I think is going to be meta. In my personal opinion, and I'll even talk about Lady Meow, because if you saw my video on Lady Meow, I'm not really that much of a fan of her. I think, and I've said this multiple times and I'll continue to say, I think she's a vanilla attacker. However, the thing she has going for her is she has a dodge area permanent trait, okay? So until we get a corrupted monster that can trait disable, combined with Unrelenting Assault and, you know, to cycle and get extra turns, this is going to be really dominant, assuming the top players actually rank up their monsters. Because one thing that surprises me is that not a lot of players are actually ranking up Ollie Fnatic, which is super interesting to me. But with that being said, these two monsters right here, combined with a third monster, it's gonna be a meta team. It should be a meta defense team. Who's gonna be the third monster? It's either going to be a Wingsu, so it's either gonna be this team right here, double dodge area, because at rank 3, this monster gets dodge area as well. So you can run double attacker, and this monster can be a team speed holder. He doesn't need that life or anything. He can be a team speed holder. So I think it's gonna be Bornot with all team speed and then double attacker on the side, and I'll explain why. Or instead of Wingsu, I think it's going to be Equilaria. I think this can be a meta defense team. So let me explain my thought process on why this team is going to be so powerful on defense, even though I didn't really hype up this monster, right? I don't know. If I look back at my Bornot video, I don't know what I said about him, but I'm saying right now, as of this moment, I do think he's a monster that could be taken to level 150, and you probably will stockpile some defense when using a team like this. And so here's my thought process. The big reason why I think this team is going to be meta is because we need to take a look at the obscure talents and the impact in the game. So the Soul Drag is one of the most important relics, right? Or obscure talents, I mean. The Soul Drag, when you have a rank 5 monster, it takes away 500,000 HP from whatever monster killed it. Let me repeat that number, 500,000. If you look at the most popular corrupted attacker right now, Master Rat, his HP is slightly below 250k. And even if you look at the tankiest corrupted monster, at least until Root Shot's out in the Monstergram, he has an HP stat just slightly above 260k. But once again, we're talking about 500,000. We're talking about 500,000 damage. When Bornot dies, if he has Soul Drag equipped, he will take down the monster that killed him. The only way to reduce the damage from Soul Drag is if you have a dark monster. So maybe you have a Darker who, still, even Darker, if he had full HP, if he kills Soul Drag, Darker would die too. Now, of course, this is where relics come in. This is where you can have an armor or a teammate with armor. You can have the mutant runes that give, if a monster has team speed with mutant life, you can increase the life stat. So that's a way to survive, okay? But the Soul Drag moving forward is going to be one of the strongest things in the game that chips away coins in wars or just defeats monsters in PvP. So going through with that logic, imagine this team on defense, okay? Bornot has the taunt trait as a permanent trait, so if you don't have a way to trait disable, you are forced to attack Bornot first and you have to kill Bornot. And even if you are maining a Master Rat team, and again, he's the meta monster right now, especially with Unrelenting Assault, if you look at Bornot's skill set, Master Rat's skill set, the single attack he mains, which also removes positive effects by the way, and applies vulnerable, is Rat and Snake. But I just showed you, his HP stat is below 250k. If you are fighting this team, let me find my Bornot. Generation Corrupted. If you are fighting this team, Master Rat would be forced to kill Boronot, Soldrack would kick in, it would kill Master Rat, so now you'd only have 2 allies alive. What do? Right? By the way, Boronot can hold the Revival Relic, so if Boronot dies, he comes back, and you still have these 2 allies. And if you look through Master Rat's skill set, the other skills he relies on are AoEs. So these monsters would not even be inflicted by the AoE skill. And it's not just Master Rat, right? Even if you main a Wing Su. If you look at Wing Su, he has some strong single skills. Ninjutsu, very heavy water damage, but they're all single target. If you have Wing Su as your main attacker and he's running Unrelenting Assault, as good as and powerful as Unrelenting Assault is, it doesn't matter once your attacker dies. For anyone that mains Master Rat, what happens when Unrelenting Assault is done for? Then he becomes to be honest, he becomes a lame attacker. Without Unrelenting Assault, there's nothing amazing. The reason he's so powerful now is because he's a team race monster. Players have him at rank 4, some players have him at rank 5. He can easily eliminate cosmic monsters, applying the vulnerable, applying the light weakness. But what happens if you can't apply the light weakness? What happens if you can't apply the vulnerable? Well, that's the case with this team right here. So once again, here's the thing. The fact that this monster can get equipped with a Soul Drag and take away 500,000 HP from whoever kills the monster, and then he resurrects, which means you still can't target the dodge area monsters, that is going to be powerful. So then when these monsters go, they are going to be able to deal some serious damage against the enemy, right? Like you have 2 dodge area monsters with powerful AoEs here, and Lady Meow and Boronot have some nice synergy because this monster actually has a bleed skill, and Boronot actually has a bleed hater skill, so even this monster, maybe a rainbow build could deal some serious damage, or maybe like, honestly, this might sound absurd, but maybe even a triple attacker team, just because these 2 attackers cannot be hit until this monster's trait disabled or dead, and then if Lady Meow goes and applies bleed, and then he has a bleed hater, this is a skill by the way, Iron Smell, applies bleed hater and then deals heavy magic damage, this monster can OTK someone probably after the enemy has bleed, and these 2 monsters can easily OTK. One of them can run Unrelenting Assault, whoever you prefer. I would probably put it on Lady Meow, and then this monster, I'd probably just give him some other relic, maybe the new one that removes positive effects, maybe a Bark Hide which increases survivability and also is good at killing the enemy monster. Bark Hide, by the way, is a really good way to counteract Master Rat and the Unrelenting Assault. We'll talk about that, how to counter that, especially for free-to-play players out there. But yeah, I'm curious. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this kind of team, because when I look at this team, I'm like, this is a nasty defense team. And it's because of Soul Drag, once again. How do we combat Soul Drag? That's hard. Once again, if you have a Dark Attacker, you would only lose 250k damage, so that definitely helps. But man, the fact that he kills you. So that's actually why my favorite attacker right now, and you guys can disagree with me, but my favorite attacker, not like conventional attacker, not talking like the Master Rats and everyone, but even if you count everyone, my favorite attacker is Gartox. And Gartox is probably best compared to Minos. Minos is awesome. He has 0 cooldown skill. Right now he can beat Chucklemuckle. Hardy has a water protection, so Gartox has some trouble against him. Crawler's water. Obviously he's a main monster. But again, I'm thinking like into the future moving forward. So the reason I like Gartox so much is because the fact that he could also resurrect. So the cool thing about this monster, and in terms of his damage output, he can do his massive attack, and then he can splash down and do his massive attack again. And with Unrelenting Assault, if the enemy is still alive, he can do Dirty Waters and then apply dots. So the cool thing about Gartox is that if he dies killing Boronot, well, he would resurrect with the revival, and then you can go after Lady Meow or Wing Su. Now Wing Su is water, so obviously you have some trouble there. But yeah, you can go after Lady Meow. The same can be said if you have Minos, right? Even if Minos takes down a Boronot, well, Soul Drag kills Minos and you're done for. If you have Master Rat and Master Rat kills Boronot, well, again, Soul Drag kills you. So an attacker that can resurrect to me is very, very powerful. Once again, everyone may disagree, but if we assume that this is the meta, a meta team moving forward, where is my Boronot, then this becomes very powerful. So I like this. Another team I can see becoming meta is Equilaria. And the reason for this is because there's so many different ways to play this. So obviously you can put on Boronot, you can give Boronot Soul Drag, but you can also give Soul Drag to Equilaria. Equilaria is a monster who just got buffed because this Karma skill now removes positive effects from the enemy and applies major damage reduction. So she makes it hard to get your team killed. She can run this skill which removes positive effects and a total damage reduction. She can also blind. For defensive purposes, I would put an AoE blind. But on top of that, she has a resurrection skill. She actually has 2 resurrection skills. Okay, so tell me, what if you put Soul Drag on Equilaria, right? So now, check it out. Let's say this monster runs like let's say your Boronot runs like a Flesh or a Bark Hide. So it increases survivability, it's hard to kill him. But let's say the enemy is able to kill Boronat, he resurrects, and the enemy kills Boronat again. Okay, honestly, by that time, the enemy probably exhausted their unrelenting assaults. So unless they have a really good monster, if it's a Master Rat, again, Master Rat relies on unrelenting assaults. But once it's exhausted, he's not as good anymore. So if Master Rat exhausted, and here's the thing about Master Rat, this monster is light. So again, Master Rat can do light, weakness, and vulnerable. But let's suppose he kills Boronat. Let's suppose he kills this monster too. Boronat resurrects with revival. She has revival as well, a revival relic. But assuming Master Rat focused on Boronat, killed Boronat, he resurrected, killed Boronat again. Now the enemy has to decide, okay, do I kill Lady Meow, who's the enemy attacker and is running Unrelenting Assault? Realistically, she would run Assault. Or do I kill Equilaria? Who would you choose? Would you kill Lady Meow or would you kill Equilaria? Because if you kill Lady Meow, this monster has a team revival. So that's probably a bad choice. But what if you kill Equilaria? She has Soul Drag, so she'll take down your monster. So you're put in a really tough situation where you're like, oh man, I already exhausted my Unrelenting Assault killing Boronat. Now I have to kill Equilaria, because if I don't kill Equilaria, she's going to resurrect Boronat. But wait, what happens if you kill Equilaria? You're going to lose your attacker thanks to the Soul Drag. And if you kill Equilaria, she still has a revival relic, so she resurrects. So she can still resurrect Boronat, and if Boronat is resurrected, that protects your Lady Meow. It's amazing. This team, I think, is also as powerful as running Wingsu. It might even be more powerful. And the reason you would do this team over Wingsu is obviously because this monster has a permanent dodge area as opposed to a Wingsu that is just a status caster. So yeah, what do you guys think about this team? Because I really don't see it. I'm like, okay, what could you do? You exhaust stamina, Cane of Atlantis on this monster, or mash your staff, and you're good to go. Like, what do you do? Again, you kill Boronat, even if he doesn't have Soul Drag, he comes back to life. Like, it's my mind is just like, what does the enemy do against a team like this? What would I do? If I had Master Rat and I rely, like, there's nothing I can do, right? Let's say you're running the Do, Master Rat, and a Megaton monster, and then the Do gets rid of the damage protection no, let's say the Do does, Fire Rainbow on Boronat, and then I do the Trade Disable. So now this monster, Equilaria and Boronat lost their Trade Disable, and I use my Master Rat to kill Lady Meow. I would have to do my single target, I would have to extra turn, single target again, Unrelenting Assault would probably activate twice by the time she's dead. Okay, now who do I kill? Do I kill Boronat or do I kill Equilaria? I'm probably not going to be able to kill Equilaria, to be honest, but if I attack Equilaria, okay, Unrelenting Assault is gone. If I manage to kill her, she resurrects. If I don't kill her, okay, when the EI goes, guess who's coming back to life? Lady Meow. And then how do I deal with Lady Meow? Right? And let's say I am able to kill Equilaria and she has Soul Drag, I lose my Master Rat. So, what do you guys think about my thought process on what I think the next meta team is? I think it's this, or I think it's Double Wing Su, but I think Boronat is definitely a monster that should be maxed out, and he should have a Soul Drag equipped, if not Equilaria. I think this is powerful. Again, what do you guys think? And also, how applicable is this to most players, right? Because most players aren't going to be able to 150 all three monsters, and yeah, it's just not possible in level 10 runes and everything. But yeah, the Soul Drag, it's so powerful. Now, here, let me show you guys a way that I think you can counteract Unrelenting Assault. But also, like, I don't know how well this applies to the majority of players. Alright, so check this out. If I click on my monster that has Bark Hide, after being damaged by a skill, it deals 60,000 points of nature damage to the attacker, and it gives a 30% shield. So funny enough, for everyone that's free to play, and again, like, it sucks because this is a fully rank 5 monster, but this is a good counter to someone running Unrelenting Assault. So the minute your monsters are damaged, it deals 60,000 points of nature damage to the attacker. So right now, imagine I'm facing a Master Rat, and this monster has Bark Hide, this monster has Bark Hide, this monster has Bark Hide. When Master Rat attacks my team is each going to deal 60k damage against Master Rat. So that's 60, that's 120, that's 180. Do you remember how much HP a rank 5 Master Rat has? Rank 5 Master Rat has 250 roughly. So, if he does an AoE skill and damages my team, Bark Hide attacks. If he attacks my team with the AoE again, that's 60, 60, 60, 180, that's 360k damage. So unless there's a lot of team speed or a lot of mutant life runes, even Bark Hide can counteract an Unrelenting Assault. So that's a pretty cool nifty way, right, to counteract. And yes, the Master Rat is giving you light, weakness, and everything, but this also gives you a 30% shield, which helps you out. So, I don't know, it's interesting where the game is going to develop, what's going to happen. Yeah, I just thought of this the other day when I'm like, okay, Soul Drag is a great way to counter the Unrelenting Assault monster, but maybe Bark Hide can be too. And then when I did the math, I'm like, ooh, that works. Now the question becomes, do you really want to do that? do you really want to give everyone a Bark Hide? Probably not. So maybe what if you only give 2 monsters Bark Hide? So that's 60k, 120k, 180k, 240. It's not enough. But then what if you also add in relics that deal damage? Like the Hyrule Shield or anything else that just damages the enemy when you take damage. So, you know, there's some nifty things we can do potentially. So I'm interested. I'm looking forward. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. And so just to go ahead and demo the team out, let's go ahead and use them in PvP for offensive purposes. Obviously, this would also work for offense, but again, I think it's going to be a really meta defense team. So watch, check it out. Cursed Stones, and then Kodama will probably do CDA. And this is something I missed in my video when I reviewed Lady Meow, just because I'll be completely honest, I completely forgot that Lady Meow had dodge area because I never really needed it because I partnered her up with a Megaton monster. So Fair Strike, and then when Lady Meow goes, she's able to do her AoE skill. Now, once again, assuming she does the bleed skill, let's hope they don't die. Okay, perfect. Assuming she does the bleed skill. Alright, she killed the enemy team, whatever. Recharge, and let's hope she keeps the bleed. Thank you, Tabora. Keep the bleed. Fire Rainbow, whatever. Again, they're forced to single target your monster until you get trade disabled. So once a corrupted monster that can trade disabled comes along, you know, I think a trade disabled monster is going to be pretty meta. Here, let's just recharge. Again, she can attack. We're going to recharge here. I want to showcase the bleed skill. Unfortunately, oh, did I run it? I don't know why I have Race to Destiny. We should probably go over the skill set that I think Bornot should run in case you use this team on defense. So Bornot should most likely be running Shoulder Ram because you want to increase survivability, absorbs 50% of incoming damage on a 1-turn cooldown. He can do that every other turn. That is amazing. I like the double healing skill. If you get reversed healing, that could be an issue though. You should definitely not run this. I would say probably the Life Regen. No, I'd go with the Ludum skin. And then Iron Smile for the Bleed Hater. Let's see if we can do another battle. I think as for my other monsters, they're good. For her, for defense, once again, I think instead of Fair Strike, you'd probably go with the AoE Blind because you want to reduce accuracy. You want to make it so the enemy can't touch you. You want the skill that removes positive effects, and you want the major damage reduction. That's a 2-in-1. And the total damage reduction. That's what you want. Alright, so let's click fight. So Combustion, once again, dodge area doesn't do anything. Equilaria doesn't matter if she gets hurt. My monster, he's burning. Okay, that's totally cool. I'm going to go ahead and... Well, it's whatever the AI would do. So I'm assuming the AI would probably... Yeah, I really don't know what the AI would do. Here, in this case, we'll do Fair Strike. She would AoE Bleed. Do you have Revival? Yes, you do. Here, we'll just go Dagger Throw. I might need to get rid of her runes because she's too powerful that she's just killing everyone. But hopefully I get to showcase... By the way, that was Unrelenting Assault giving me an extra turn. Oh man, I really want to showcase. Ooh. Oh wait, I think we're good. Here's a good example of if he was to kill me, Soul Drag would drag down Pandakin, right? Here, let me get rid of my runes just to showcase that. So, let me... oh, I can't. Wait, why can't... Oh, she's probably being used for breeding. Alright, I'll see how this next battle goes. Let's see if it's a strong opponents. 150. Okay, perfect. So maybe I won't get rid of the Megaton. So I get possessed. Okay. Oh, that's actually what I think is going to be a good counter. Oh, by the way, you see me getting turned into a baby? So this is why I'm a big fan of cats. Cat can transform someone into a baby. If Unrelenting Assault can trigger, then she can go after Lady Meow and maybe turn her into a baby. She can't stun her because she has the Status Caster stun immunity. But maybe she can turn Equilaria into a baby or something. Can't stun her because she has Celestial. Yeah, this team is going to be so good on defense. And again, it could also work for offense. Here, let's bleed Shelly. I don't think we're going to get to showcase the Bleed Hater, but I hope you guys get the idea. So I think this is definitely going to be a really formidable team. I could be completely wrong though. We are getting a monster that has Pierce. So if that's the case, it doesn't even matter if Lady Meow has dodge area, right? You're going to be able to pierce through and kill Lady Meow. But then your strategy can shift. Maybe... No, because again, even with the new Pierce monster... The Pierce monster is not going to have above 500k HP, right? So Soul Drag is going to kill. So, assuming you have this team on defense, if the Pierce monster kills Lady Meow, probably wastes the Unrelenting Assault killing Lady Meow, you also have to kill Equilaria. But if you kill Equilaria, Soul Drag is going to kill the Pierce monster, Equilaria resurrects with the Revival, and then Equilaria can resurrect Lady Meow, and then you still have Bornot to deal with, and you lost your Pierce attacker. So are you going to run double attackers? What are you going to do? Maybe a counter to this is to run a dark monster that can possess. So maybe the Neurofunk, because what if you possess Equilaria and possess Bornot, and Equilaria kills Bornot, or Bornot kills himself, then Soul Drag doesn't work against you. So maybe you're gonna have to think differently, like, okay, I need Bornot to possess and kill itself. Like, I don't know. Then Bornot could be ran with self skills instead of damaging skills, so like Corrupted Body, Eternal Hog, so he doesn't kill himself. So I'm interested, but I do think this is gonna be a meta team, more so than the Wingsu. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. And if anyone wants to buy Lady Meow because you think this defense team is going to be as powerful as I think it's going to be, go ahead and use it. And once again, for offensive purposes, I think there's so many better attackers than Lady Meow, but I do recognize the importance of her on defense because of the dodge area compared with Bornot. What am I saying? Not compared. Complemented by... So, dodge area, complemented by the taunt trait on Bornot, complemented by the power of Soul Drag, complemented by a resurrection monster that can resurrect. By the way, the taunt monster, it's just crazy. So, like I said, long video, not so much action. For those of you that made it through, thank you guys so much, because I've been thinking about this team, and I'm like, man, I would love to see it. I would really love to see it. Actually, you know what we should see? We should look at the top team, the top players, and see what they're running for offense. So this player is running Ollie. Oh, notice that I don't think Megaton... Honestly, Megaton is not that important, or I feel like it's not as important anymore in this new meta. Like, obviously, it's still going to be used. They're still worth getting. Running Soul Drag on them is useful, but Taunt and Lady Meow, I think it's more powerful. So they're probably using Pandakin as the attacker. Yeah, Pandakin, a fast Master Rat attacker Pandakin who can deny. The meta might shift to something like that, where he can possess and stun. Pandakin's a good one too, who, if he dies, like Gartox, who I love, if Pandakin dies, he can resurrect. But Pandakin has more utility because he can deny. Let's see what else is being ran. Let's see this player. This player is running Lord Platypus Dratis. Yeah, so notice most teams rely on one attacker. It's Dratis. If Dratis kills your monster with Soul Drag, Dratis is dead. Look at that life. Yeah, he's dead. No super mutant runes are going to save you. Let's take a look at this player right here. Oh, look, this player relies on one monster, Vanoss. So Zorky gives triple damage to Vanoss. Vanoss OTKs the whole team. But once again, Soul Drag would kill Vanoss. And then Bornot resurrects. Lady Meow's dead. Equilaria, if she dies, she resurrects. And then if she gets the turn in, bam, you resurrect Lady Meow. Because once Vanoss is dead, what is a Zorky going to do? And what is Santerion going to do, right? So here, let's look through some more players. Was that Affliction that we just saw, or was that Strong? Okay, so this is another good one. Master Rat, probably support. Yeah, probably giving double damage to Minos. Alright, Minos might kill your taunt monster. So what? Right? So what? Minos kills your taunt monster. Your Bornot's running Soul Drag. Minos is dead. How is the player going to beat you with a Cryo Crawler running Team Speed and a Master Rat? It's not going to happen, right? Like, you're going to have to run double attackers to beat the team. Let's see this player. Again, another Minos. Double Mega Taunt Minos. Okay, Minos kills your Bornot running Soul Drag. Minos is dead. Look at his HP. 302. Wow, that's actually a lot. Do they have all mutant runes? Yeah, again, if you can't tank 500k though, 500,000, then you're done for. Maybe he can. What relics does he run? Iguana's Large Armor, 52k armor, Unrelenting Assault. Yeah, players running Unrelenting Assault, you might need to change it up, right? You might need extra shields or life or something. I don't know. But this team would not, like that team I said, this team would lose to it because the minute you lose Minos, it's GG. Let's take a look at Jasmine. Jasmine is running Panikin. I'd imagine attacker Panikin. Yeah. So that seems to be popular. How much life does he have? 400. Man, those mutant runes really do make a difference. Maybe Soul Drag. 440. Wow. And he probably has... Okay, I wonder if their HP goes above 500. But once again, it's not just the Soul Drag that they have to worry about. Because if we go back to Master Rat or even Pandakin, Equilaria is running a Barkhide, and that's 60k every time she gets hit with an AoE. So Barkhide and Soul Drag, like 2 hits of Barkhide, that's 120, and Soul Drag 500, that's 620 HP they would need to have in order to tank and not die with a Soul Drag. So I'm interested to see I'm interested to see if this is going to end up being a meta team, or maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys see a team out there that can be meta on defense? And if so, let me know in the comments below. Super curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Thank you guys very much, and remember to subscribe.